Hey guys, what is up? So how to find web design clients, specifically how to find your first few web design clients. So over the last week, I got this question a bunch from a lot of different people, basically because I showed the previous video where I walked into a gym here in Mexico and I walked out with my first website deal as part of this 2019 challenge within a few minutes. So basically the challenge is starting a new web design business from scratch. So I was able to walk into a business and not using any past results, any portfolio pieces, just verbally talking to these people, I was able to walk out with a new web design deal within a few minutes. Now it is a free project, but all the same, it is a real project that is going to eventually lead to profitable work. So a lot of people are asking, how did I do this? What did I say? How can they themselves go about finding their first few web design projects? So with this video, I want to cover that topic, basically give my thoughts. What's the best way to start a web design business? What's the quickest way to move towards profitable work? And how exactly to land those first few web design deals. A lot of people go wrong with this stuff. They waste a lot of time, a lot of effort doing things in a way that just isn't going to get great results. It's not effective. And just plainly, it's just not going to work, to be honest. So where a lot of people go wrong is that when they start web design, they look at the people who are successful and they start copying those same methods, those same approaches that those people are using and applying them to the initial stages of growing a web design business. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. As things progress with your business, you're going to do different things. As you get more projects, more results, more clients, your own personal approaches for selling change. So copying somebody who's been successful in web design for a while, while they're at a certain level, and using that same approach at the very initial stages is not a good idea. Specifically, what I'm talking about here is people who start a new web design business or who want to start a new web design business. And when it comes time to getting their first client, they start cold emailing, they start cold calling, they start using all these prospecting methods that rely on certain things that they don't yet have. So somebody just starting doesn't have past results, doesn't have past experience. So when they go cold calling a business or cold emailing a business, even if they get a response, which isn't too likely, it's very, very hard to sell. You have nothing to show these people. You have nothing to, prove that you can back up what you're saying. So if you think about selling anything, let's just say something on Amazon, you're going to want to have reviews, you're going to want to have product pictures and a description, you're going to want to detail what exactly it is that you're selling. But when it comes to web design, you can't do that unless you have something already to show people. So even if you can get on the phone, if you do a cold call and you're just starting and you get on the phone with a business owner, it's very, very hard to back up what it is that you're saying or even explain what it is that you're trying to offer because you don't have any past results to basically show these people. So the big question is, how do we start getting past results? How do we start building actual projects that we can use to sell later? And how do we pick the right projects for the right sort of businesses? And how do we even get those deals in the first place? So that's a lot of different questions. I'm going to try answer them all in this video and just give a really quick, but at the same time detailed and hopefully effective guide to getting your first few web design clients. So the first thing you got to realize that the biggest thing when it comes to selling profitable web design later is that you have one selling technique. I'll go over that in other videos, but also that you have actual results, actual case studies and examples of real websites that you've built that gotten real results for those businesses. So you want to be able to show, hey, I built a website for this company. It brought them in a ton of new clients. It brought them in new sales. It landed them, these new projects, whatever. So you want to show real results. So the big thing here is we want to show the value of our work. We don't want to be a freelancer forever. A freelancer basically works per hour. We want to work per project. That's how you start making the big profitable deals. So if you think of two different people, one person is a freelancer, they're working, $30 an hour, they're doing 40 hours a week. So they're limited to like 1,200 a week. Obviously those are just made up rates, but they are limited by the amount of time that they can put in. The person who's doing it smarter, the person who's going to make a lot more money is a person who's selling end results. They're not selling how much work they're going to do. They're selling how much results their website is going to bring in. So if that person, let's say, builds a website for a construction company and over a year, it brings in $1 million worth of new sales, they can now approach another construction company or a similar company and say, hey, look, I did this in the past. It brought in this much sales. So I want to charge you $20,000. And that client, the person they're selling to, is not thinking about how much work is involved. They're thinking about how much potential this website has to bring in sales. So they might agree to that, and it could take this person, 1 week to make, it could take them 4 weeks, but they're not getting paid by their time, they're getting paid by their end result. Why that matters to us, from the very beginning with our own portfolio, with the very few first clients that we're working with, we want to make sure that we're building for people that we can get results for, and we're building with that in mind. We're not just building to, we're going to build a 50-page website with no purpose. We're focusing and targeting and working with businesses that we can get real results for. And it's not about how much time we put in, it's about what the actual value of that website was to that business. How much, sales are brought in, how much customers, how much services they sold, whatever. That's how we get started. That is the best way to go, and that's how you move towards profitable work. So just keep that in mind from the very beginning. You're trying to find real businesses that have problems that you can solve, businesses that you can add value to. Now, I'm not going to cover it in this video, but I will show in other videos how exactly to do that. There is a little bit to it. It's not overly complicated, but you just have to go about things in a certain way. For now though, just keep it in mind. You're looking for businesses that you can help, that you can add real value to. It's not about how much work you're going to do, it's about how much results you're going to get from the work that you do. There is going to be some effort involved, of course, but it's not about, I'm selling X amount of hours and X amount of work. You're selling the end result. That's a hugely important thing here. If you keep that in mind, if you, use that approach, you're going to be able to go from zero to very profitable work within a few months if you're going about it in the right way. So basically, people are going to pay you for the end result. So from the very beginning, I know I keep saying this, but we got to focus on businesses where we can actually build results. Now, another huge factor to this is trust. You need to quickly find people who are going to trust you to work with them, to work with their business, so you can land these deals quickly. Obviously, in this stage, we're not getting paid much, if anything at all. So we don't want to waste weeks or waste months trying to find these sort of clients. We want to go out there straight away, hopefully within a few days, land these deals, finish these sort of projects fast so we can move towards the profitable work as quick as possible. So how do you get started with building that trust, or how do you find people who already trust you? What I always recommend is that you don't go cold calling, you don't go cold emailing from the very start. Work with the connections, work with the networks that you have. So for all of us, no matter where we're based in the world or what our past experience is, we're going to have some family, we're going to have some friends, we're going to have connections, past people that we know from maybe school, university, different clubs, church, different groups, all those different places. So you're going to have people in your life that you know. So look at those people, see who has a real business, see who might be in need of a website. Also look at who those people know. So it's not just the people you know, it can also be the people that they know as well. So maybe your friend Jimmy knows a few business owners. Maybe your sister Michelle uses the gym down the road and they need a website. So not the best examples, but basically look at your network, look at how people connect together and who might already trust you. A really important thing when it comes to selling is trust. The people who are going to trust you the most, who are going to allow you to build a website, without having to have all the sales experience and past results, they're going to be people who probably already know you or know somebody that you know. Working through those kind of trust connections is going to make it very, very easy to sell that first deal. And then when you make that first project and you have real results, then you can go to people who kind of trust you a little bit less, or maybe don't even know you at all. But in the beginning, just focus on people who already are connected to you in some way. That's going to build some base trust, and it's just going to make that first initial deal a lot easier to close and a lot easier of a project to finish. So keep that in mind. Look at the people right now that you know, who has a real business, who is in need of a better website or a brand new website. All right, so the next part of this is, what do you say to these people when you make contact with them? How do you sell this deal? How do you make them want to go ahead with the project? So a thing that I see a lot of people mess up with is they say, hey, I was offering all these free websites, but nobody went ahead. But when you look at what they were doing, it wasn't really a free deal. There might have been no price involved, but they were trying to get the business owner to do a ton of work, do a ton of different things, a lot of effort on their behalf. So if you think of a business, it's not just the cost, time is money too, and so is effort. If they have to put aside, lots of time to write up all the content and send loads of photos and answer loads of questions and set up hosting and set up emails. It's not really free for that business. They're wasting a lot of their own resources trying to set up a free website project for themselves. So the key thing here is to make it as simple as possible for them, to make a very clear value for them to move ahead, and for you to do pretty much all of the work. Now, this is kind of a strange thing in the beginning. This catches a lot of people off the first few times they do it. They think, hey, if I'm working with a business, that this business should have a ton of input and they should be involved in every step of the way, and they should be letting me know what they think about this design and this piece of content and this photo. The truth is though, with these free projects, you want to make it as simple as possible for the business owner. You don't want them concerned with this thing every day, every week. You just want to go ahead and do like 99% of it yourself. You are going to have some questions. There's always some questions. With this gym in Mexico, for example, I need to figure out the prices and maybe some of the plans, opening hours, stuff like that. But all the other stuff, setting up the website, the design, even taking the photos, making videos, writing the content, setting up the email system, redoing a new Facebook page, setting up an Instagram page, all that stuff, as much as I can, I'm going to do it myself. Now, why I'm doing that is, one, it's just another way to add a ton of value. But two, it makes the deal really, really simple. When I walked in there and I promised to do all this stuff by myself for free, very simple for them to go ahead. Very little risk involved, very little time involved, very little effort involved for that business. So even though it's a free project, you got to make sure that it is really free for them, that you're not going to burn loads of their time, loads of their resources. You're emailing them, you're emailing their staff, you're requesting all this stuff. You got to find people that you can do pretty much most of the work yourself. Now, with this website project for me, it's local, so I can do things like photos and videos. If it was someone further away, if it wasn't someone local, I'd still figure out a way to do those things as much as possible by myself. I'd find photos online that were suitable, and I'd just make it as easy as possible for this business to go ahead. Another way to kind of stack this deal to make it a really simple decision for them to buy into, not financially because it's a free deal, but mentally you want them to buy into this project. Keep everything about what is, valuable for them with the project. Don't concern them with what you're trying to do too much. You're trying to set up a new web design business, you're trying to get going. It's good that they understand that, but they're not going to be motivated by the fact that you're trying to set up a web design business for yourself. They're going to be motivated by what's in it for them. So when you're pitching them the deal, keep it all about what's in it for them. What value are you going to bring? How are you going to create sales? What results might they see? What problems are you going to take care of? What different things can the website do to reduce work for them, to reduce customer issues with them, to reduce time, to reduce effort, all these different things. So you're building a website that's going to create results. So when you're pitching the website, make sure that you explain what you intend to build when it comes to results. What problems are you going to solve? What value are you going to bring? What things is the website going to do that they don't currently have? Or what's it going to remove that's currently a problem for them? So maybe they have customers always asking the same questions. Can you answer those questions on the website? Can you take away that problem for them? Or maybe there's something new that the website can do. So it's going to bring in new value. It's going to list some new services, or it's going to do certain things it's going to make it easier for this business to attract new customers, new sales. So keep all that stuff in mind. If you have any questions on this, just let me know below this video. It's a very quick kind of overall video on how to find your first few web design projects. Over the next few weeks and months on this channel, I'm going to be showing you again and again how I land these projects, how I build these projects, and how I create these sort of results that I'm talking about for these clients. So I hope that you stick around, you see exactly how I do it. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just post it below this video or where I've posted this video, if it's on a forum or if it's in the Facebook group. More than happy to jump in there and help you out in the meantime before I show you some more real examples. So that is it for now. Thanks for watching. Hope that this delivered a ton of value. Hope that it made a lot of sense, and hope that you put it into use. So catch you in the next video.